Hello everyone, today I'll be talking about Microsoft and Activision because the merger will be going through. Microsoft will be acquiring Activision for $69 billion, and it took almost 2 years for this to happen. I do just want to say in the very beginning, just so I can set the boundary what I'll be talking about in this video. That will change absolutely nothing at all, and if you guys are going to click off, that's my point, the very quick gist of this. This will do nothing. This deal is not going to change anything with the quality Xbox puts out. It's not going to change anything with the brand of Xbox getting better. Instead, it'll just add more older games, and it'll keep adding shit onto Game Pass, and eventually it's going to lead to the metric system to change because Xbox is buying all these fucking goddamn publishers, and they're just putting shit on Game Pass because they know their consumers don't buy games, and they know their consumers don't buy their hardware. So the best thing to do now is just to focus on the player counts, and eventually that's going to be the metric in my opinion. But that's the gist. I will be talking about everything slowly, more into detail now, but that's a very quick gist for people who want to click off after the first minute. But yeah, with that being said, yes, I do believe that this was that this kind of is on purpose. That their games they don't really ever score high. They don't sell well at all. They sell okay, but they should not. But they don't sell as big as an exclusive probably should. Halo Infinite, which is one of $500 million budget. I believe they said it was 7-8 years in the making. Supposed to be the biggest Halo game ever, and it only sold about 1 million copies, if that. That is very bad. I'm pretty sure that their exclusives sell around the same number, maybe. And maybe that's why they don't really share their numbers. Now, obviously with Starfield, we know how many people. I believe it's like 5 million copies that was sold, and that was in 2-3 weeks, I believe. But now that's very good. That's an achievement for Xbox. But the problem is that's an achievement for Xbox. God of War sold 5 million copies, I believe, in 2 days or 3 days. And that's how an exclusive should sell, in my opinion. But the reason why these games don't sell is because everything goes to Game Pass. You don't have to buy a game; you can just get on Game Pass. And that's what all these games from Activision are going to go to. Activision did have a tweet recently, and they did mention that the new Call of Duty will not be on Game Pass, and that it's going to take about the next year to get games onto Game Pass. Now, these are going to be older CODs, which is cool and everything, blah, blah, blah. But this is my question, and this is the question that I believe everyone, even Xbox fans, should be asking. How is this going to impact the quality? With these publishers, if most of these games, let's say a good 70% of these games end up going to Game Pass day one, that right from Activision, Studios, and Blizzard, and blah, blah, blah. If this happens, this is just my theory, a game theory. But I believe that what will happen is eventually we're going to start seeing the quality dramatically start decreasing throughout Activision games as a whole, because they're not going to have the incentive to make a good game, because everything goes to the Game Pass, and they're pretty much being. I would accept that it's they're still paid for doing their work, so they don't have to make a good game if they don't want to. They're probably not going to get crunched, and I can see a lot of big titles being pushed back a couple years, because let's just face it, the studios that Xbox has, they're not that good. They're just simply not good. Their best studio is probably Playground Games with Forza, and even that game, the new one just came out recently. As I'm recording this, and this will be posted on the 14th of October, and so the Saturday, and I just want to say that the game's ugly. The game's not good. I believe the game got an 83 rating. The games don't score well, and I do believe that this is on purpose, and they do want to buy more publishers, because I kind of feel like they want to change the metric for games. So because the only community that I ever hear about talking how many players are playing their games, not the units sold or the amount sold or downloaded, blah blah blah. It's always the amount of people playing the game, or I guess downloading it, trying it, or whatever. It's only the Xbox community because of Game Pass. The bigger Game Pass gets, eventually there might have to be a change in metric, because it's not being sold but by how many are being sold. It's by how many players are being played. So you might have more free live service games come out, or you might have blah blah blah, or you might see a downfall of the gaming industry in general, because now you're changing the whole metric to now where sales don't matter at all. Sales mean fucking nothing, and companies might not be able to sell a lot more. And now you have a service like Game Pass, which is providing the newest games from Activision Blizzard and probably more publishers day one, and more and more people are not going to buy it. More and more people are going to buy that subscription. Now it's good for the Xbox community because it grows, and it's good for Microsoft because it makes some money. But in the gaming industry, it doesn't help anything. It fucks it so bad because now you're making it to where other companies might have to, they can't sell a game for $70, $60 anymore, or even $40 perhaps. They might have to just go through a service or something to maybe get to get that money or make it, or just completely spam the games with live service things like the market shop, like what we saw with Halo. And I believe what people are, and I see people saying that in Forza 2. So it seems to be an issue where I don't think they know how to make good content. They know how to make content, but it's not really good content. And I in my opinion, because this video is going a little too long, but I feel like it's not going to do anything. This is not going to do anything. It's not going to change the quality of Xbox games. And I don't know if I said it before, but I will be saying it again. If I did, I'm sorry. But if anything, I can see it not benefiting, and I can see it hurting the games more. Because now you're getting more games being pushed out, more games on Game Pass. And there's no incentive. I don't see these developers really giving a fuck anymore. They're making their money. They don't have to work any harder than they have to if the game's going to go right to Game Pass, because they know people are going to try it and play it. So yeah, that's it. I don't know. I don't know if it's bad. I don't know if it's good. I just don't like the idea of Microsoft doing this. And in the future, I can see them trying to acquire more publishers, and I just don't see that being good for the gaming community. If you agree, let me know. If you disagree, go fuck yourself. And yeah, peace out. Bye.